My favourite car is a Porsche 911 GT4 Crowfour, and I like that because it's like a slick car and it's very fast and looks good.
Well, where to start with our last car? A supercar that over the last 25 years or so has become a motoring legend and earned its place as one of the classic supercars of all time.
I think the great thing about the 911 is that it's a real supercar. I mean, it's got, supercar performance, but it's capable of dealing with everyday situations. I mean, if it's raining or snowing or, heavy traffic, whatever, it drives like a normal car. You can take your granny shopping in it and then, the road opens up, you're feeling great, boof, away you go.
Whatever your opinion, the 911 is an all-time great. Unveiled at the 1963 Frankfurt Motor Show, the 911 replaced Porsche's much-loved 356 sports car.
They wanted to call it the 901, and Peugeot said, hang on, you can't do that because we have 0 as our trademark. We have the 203, the 403, the 404. You can't have the 901. So they immediately changed it to the 911. It seemed to have been quite a good idea because it stuck for the next 30-odd years.
The first cars were fitted with a 2-litre, 6-cylinder engine, enough to go from 0 to 60 in 8.3 seconds, and it had a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It might not sound much now, but that was a big deal in 1963. Over the last 40 years, there have been many versions of the 911.
So the great thing about the 911 is the way it's sort of evolved. I mean, when the first turbo came out, actually Porsche were calling it the 959, but everybody called it a 911. And since then, there's different model derivatives have come up, the 956s, the 968s, everything else. But the shape still stayed the same. And you see it on the road, you immediately recognise it as a 911. And that's what the name has stuck with.
So while your new 996 turbo can be ordered with £5,000 worth of carbon brakes, the real landmark was the launch of the original 911 turbo itself. Launched in 1975, Porsche took the idea of turbocharging, which they'd applied so successfully on the track, to their 911 road car.
I can remember when the first Porsche Turbo was launched, I was sent out by Autocar to do the first road test on it. And it was a stunning car. And the engineers said to us, you can be stationary on the side of the Autobahn and someone can drive past you at 100 kilometers an hour and you can accelerate after them and pass them inside a kilometer. We thought, wow, that's quite something. And more to the point, the car would do it easily. I mean, it was just stunning, brutally quick.
The 911 became a real icon of 80s affluence. It became as much a part of those money-rich years as braces and personal computers.
I think that period, Mrs. Thatcher's Britain with the yuppies and the people making all that money as bonds dealers and bankers and buying a 911, a red 911 Porsche as a status symbol, it was very unfortunate for Porsche because up to then they'd always been bought by enthusiasts who understood the car, they knew its limitations, they could exploit its performance and its handling. And suddenly here were these guys, who'd suddenly been given 50,000 quid bonus and they went out and bought a Porsche and then didn't understand it when they went backwards through a shop window in Knightsbridge.
40 years on, it remains a car in a million and a worthy winner of your most popular car ever.